Columbus Catholic of Marshfield. The Ramblers are looking to improve on last.
Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 7-1 Viking girls are stepping out of conference play and trying to polish things up heading into the holiday break as they're getting ready to take on the 2-4 Regis Ramblers. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Ramblers and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Sarar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Regis High School in Eau Claire, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between the Regis Ramblers and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to keep on winning following their dominating 61-34 win over the Spring Valley Cardinals last Friday. In that win over the Cardinals, the Vikings showed a little sluggishness following the 2 days off due to snow. But after a back-and-forth first half, the Vikings took control in the second half and powered their way to the win while handing the Cardinals their first conference loss of the season. Leading the way for the Vikings was the spectacular performance by 5'7" sophomore McKenna Shipman, who hit on 12 field goals, 3 of which were three-pointers, and went 4 for 4 from the free throw line for a season-high 31 points. Meadow Keltner was hot from three-point land, hitting on 3 three-pointers for 9 points. In addition, Kaysen Goodell hit a field goal and went 5 for 6 from the charity stripe for 7 points. On the boards, the Vikings were led by Ainsley Olsen, who grabbed 7 rebounds, while Autumn Nigaman and Kaysen Goodell each pulled down 4. So far in the season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is McKenna Shipman, who is scoring nearly 18 points per game. She's followed by Jeanette Hajdukovic and Molly Hydorn, who each contribute almost 6 points per game. On the boards, the Vikings are led by Shipman, who's pulling down 8 rebounds per game, as well as Hajdukovic and Olsen, who each pull down over 5 per game. Autumn Nigaman also grabs over 4 boards per game. The Regis Ramblers are currently 2-4 on the season following Saturday's 60-55 win over Columbus Catholic of Marshfield. The Ramblers are looking to improve on last season's 11-13 record, and they're led in scoring by 6-foot junior Ashley Chilson, who's putting up over 16 points per game. She's followed by 5'7" sophomore Cara Olsen, who's averaging just over 8 points per game, as well as Annabelle Schrader, who's adding just under 8 per game. Now on the boards, the Ramblers are led by Chilson and 6'1" senior Mason Cullinan with 10 and 7 rebounds per game respectively. Now coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Sarar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with the Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. And Coach, last Friday, after a sluggish start, the Vikings took control in the second half and dominated the Spring Valley Cardinals 61-34, giving the Cardinals their first conference loss of the season. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, we struggled to make shots first half, but, I think the girls did everything that I was asking them to. The ball just didn't go in the hoop. But second half, I think Meadow gave us a huge spark and off the bench making, going 3 for 3 from 3. And then everybody else, I think, just kind of followed suit. So I know Kenna was, able to put the ball in the hoop, but lots of people got, into the scoring column. So,
yeah, you mentioned both Meadow and Kenna Shipman having outstanding nights. I noticed in the crowd around us that there were a lot of oohs and ahs about both of them. Meadow Keltner could not miss from three-point land, and McKenna, holy cow, she put up 31 points. She put on a scoring clinic that night. Can you talk a little more about their performance?
Yeah, Meadow's been shooting the ball really well. And, we look to Kenna to do the majority of our scoring. She's just got a knack of where she needs to be and how to create for herself. And, luckily the ball was going in for her, both, from the outside shooting and she was able to get to the rim.
Now, today, the Vikings are going to step out of Dunn St. Croix Conference play as they journey over to Eau Claire and take on the Regis Ramblers, who are currently 2-4 on the season. What can you tell us about the Ramblers?
Yeah, they have one really good kid who's, big and super athletic. So we'll have to make sure that we contain her, and continue to play great team defense all around. I'm hoping that we can continue our scoring from the second half against Spring Valley, but the defense and the rebounding has to be there for sure.
Now, last season, the Vikings were able to pull out a narrow 56-53 win over the Ramblers. And over the past few years, the series with the Ramblers has developed into a pretty strong rivalry. Do you think a close game like last year's could add motivational fuel for the Ramblers?
Yeah, anytime you let someone, stay in a game with you, they're going to be more motivated than if you are beating them by a lot. So we'll just have to make sure that we come ready to play, and hopefully it will end in our favor.
Well, Coach Serrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will put some polish on their game before they head off into the holidays.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 7-1 Vikings are looking to keep the winning going and put some polish on their game before they head off onto the holiday break. The Ramblers, on the other hand, would like to keep on winning following their 60-55 win over the Columbus Catholic on Saturday. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball. And we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So in just a moment, we'll send it out to Regis High School in Eau Claire, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the action of tonight's girls' game between the Colfax Vikings and the Regis Ramblers. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
And the long pass down and in by Hajdukovic.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Long pass down the floor to Olsen. She stops, puts it up, she hit it!
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
This gets it over to the left side to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three puts the Vikings on top, 3-2. And good evening, and welcome to Regis High School in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, where tonight your 7-1 Colfax Viking girls are going to take on the Regis Ramblers. Rick Olson here, along with Lynn Nigaman on the camera tonight, and Dan Schutta's keeping it straight of the numbers and everything, and he ought to do a good job of that. Retired CPA, I think he ought to be able to handle numbers okay. We'll see. We'll check him out. Taking a quick look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. First of all, for the visiting Vikings, number 10, 5'6" senior Molly Hydorn. Number 14, 5'9" senior Ainsley Olson. Number 32, 5'7" junior Jada Anderson. Number 40, 5'10" junior Jeanette Hajdukovic. And number 42, 5'7" junior McKenna Shipman. For the home team, Regis Ramblers, 5'8" junior number 1 Emma Klenk. 6'1" senior Mason Cullinan. Number 13, Annabelle Schrader. She's a 5'8" junior. 5'7" sophomore, number 23, Cara Olson. And number 33, 6-foot junior, Ashley Chilson. Chilson is the leading scorer for the Regis Ramblers, coming into tonight's game, averaging over 16 points per game. Cara Olson is right behind her, over 8 points per game. And just under 8 points per game is Annabelle Schrader. Leading the way up for the Vikings, coming into tonight's game, Shipman is leading the way, coming off that huge game last Friday against Spring Valley where she put up 31 points. She's averaging 18 points per game. Molly Hydorn and Jeanette Hajdukovic are just under 6 points per game for the Vikings. We're going to have the starting lineups and national anthem coming up in just a minute. And we're going to take a brief time out. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Thursday, December 22nd, when the Vikings will host the Ladysmith Lumberjills. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, December 22nd.
And we're back here at Regis High School getting ready for today's national anthem. And singing the anthem tonight is going to be senior Mason Cullinan. And she's getting ready to do it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the home of the Ramblers for this inter-conference game between the Colfax Lady Vikings from the Dun St. Croix Conference and from the Western Colfax Belt Conference, your Eau Claire Regis Lady Ramblers. We ask those who are able to please stand and remove your hats. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, as we prepare for this game against Colfax, we ask your blessing on both teams and the fans who are here to cheer them on. We enjoy the competition when both teams have an intense desire to win. Watch over and protect all who have traveled to tonight's game and help everyone here to a safe trip home. We pray in the name of Jesus our Lord, amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. And now to honor America and those defending our freedom, here is our national anthem performed by Mason Cullinan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Regis senior Mason Cullinan doing the national anthems. And we're going to send it right back down to the scores table for the starting lineups.
We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Thank you. Now here are your starting lineups. First for the Colfax Lady Vikings. At guard, the 5'6" senior, number 10, Molly Heidorn. At forward, the 5'9" senior, number 14, Ainsley Olsen. At forward, the 5'7" junior, number 32, Jada Anderson. At center, the 5'10" junior, number 40, Jeanette Heideberger. And at forward, the 5'7" junior, number 42, McKenna Schiffner. And the Vikings are coached by Courtney Carr assisted by Charlie Kittleson and Joe Doucette. And now the starting five for the Lady Ramblers. At guard, a 5'8" junior number 1, Emma Klink. At center, 6' junior number 4, Mason Cullinan. At guard, a 5'8" junior number 13, Annabelle Schroeder. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore number 23, Kara Olson. And a forward, a 6'1" junior number 33, Ashley Chilson.
So there's the starting lineups with the scores table version for tonight's game. Again, for the Vikings, it's Hydorn, Olsen, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. And for the Ramblers, it's Klink, Cullinan, Schroeder, Olsen, and Chilson. Ainsley Olsen for the Vikings steps into the center circle.
And we also welcome this evening the live stream viewers.
Vikings will be going from right to left.
/live.
And stepping into the center circle is Kara Olsen. So it's Olsen versus Olsen, jumping center. Ball goes up, and the tip is controlled by Regis. Pass underneath, intended for Klink, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Vikings ball. Anderson gets it into Hydorn. She comes through the backcourt, across the timeline, right through the center circle. Still on the dribble between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Takes it out to the top of the key, over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way by Hydorn is no good. Shipman with the rebound, hands it off to Anderson, no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic, and they get it back out and swing it around. Shipman gets it to Hajdukovic in the lane, feeds it over to Shipman, lays it up and in. McKenna Shipman with the first two of the night. Vikings up 2-0. Olsen for Regis has it. Stops at the top of the key, puts up a three, no good. Cullinan with the rebound, puts up the shot, it's no good, but she drew the harm. And I believe the foul is on Hajdukovic. It is. First foul on anybody. So Mason Cullinan to shoot two. First one's up and good. Second shot on the way. It's good. So we're tied at 2. And the Vikings have the ball. Hydorn with it. She comes down the floor. Across the timeline, over on the right side. Gets it out to Anderson. Feeds it over to Shipman at the top of the key. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Stops, puts it up off the backboard, no good. And down the floor come the Regis Ramblers. Chilson with it. She lays it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. She feeds it over to Shipman in the lane to Hajdukovic. 10-footer puts up, no good. Rebound put back, it's good by Anderson, and she drew the harm.
Basket is good.
And the foul is on Ashley Chilson. Her first personal, first team foul on Regis. Anderson's shot is up and good. Vikings up 5-2. And the inbound pass is stolen. Shot goes up, no good by Anderson. She gets her own rebound, gets it out to Olsen. Over to Hydorn, top of the key, gets it over to the right side. Anderson from 3, comes up short, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Regis ball. Chilson with it. She gets it inbound to Olsen, over to Schroeder. Back to Chilson. It's on the backcourt now into the forecourt to Olsen on the left side. That's Regis Olsen. To Schroeder. To Cullinan. To Klink. To Schroeder. To the right side of the lane. Turnaround jumper by Olsen is up, no good. Rebound blocked. And coming away with it is Hajdukovic. Gets it to Hydorn. Feeds it down to Anderson. Anderson Back to Shipman, puts up a three. She missed it. Hajdukovic with the putback. She laid it in.
Basket by number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic.
7-2, Vikings on top. Down the floor comes Chilson, being guarded closely by Shipman. She's between the circles, looking for somewhere to go. Takes it down the left side of the lane, lays it up, it won't go. Putback shot is blocked. Second putback is good. That's by Cullinan. 7-4, Vikings up on top. Hydorn tries to get it to Shipman, loses the handle, but she gets it to Hajdukovic, who puts it up and in. 9-4, Vikings up by 5. Olsen with it for Regis. Gets it over to the right side to Chilson. Chilson over to the left side to Cullinan. Ball gets tied up, taken away by Hajdukovic. Down the floor comes Shipman, feeds it out to Hydorn. Three-pointer on the way. She hit the three! And a timeout being called by the Ramblers. Vikings up 12-4 with 14:37 to go, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered it. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Regis High School, where the Vikings have opened up a 12-4 lead with 14:37 to go in the first half. Regis has the ball. Olsen brings it down the floor for the Ramblers. She's got it between the circles, feeds it off to the right side to Chilson. Chilson into the lane to Klink. She lays it up. It's no good. Anderson with the rebound for the Vikings. Gets it to Hydorn. Down the floor she comes. Takes it over to the left side, feeds it underneath the Hajdukovic, overlaid it. Schroeder with the rebound for the Ramblers. And down the floor they come. Schroeder at the top of the key, feeds it over to the right side to Klink. Klink into the lane to Chilson. She puts it up. It's no good. And the rebound tapped out of bounds by Ainsley Olsen. So it'll be Ramblers ball. Schroeder to inbound. Tries to feed it in. Ball got tipped by Hydorn, and then she couldn't find the handle and walked it right out of bounds. So Regis will try again. This time they get it to Klink. She went up with it, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Let's see if they got Hydorn or Anderson. I think they got Hydorn. Yes. It was on Hydorn. That's her first personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. And Emma Klink goes to the line for two. First shot is up. It's no good, off the back of the iron. Couple of substitutes coming in. Nigaman and Goodell into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot by Klink is good. Vikings by 7. 12-5. 13:55 to go in the first half. Hydorn takes it over to the right side, gets it out to Olsen outside and three-point land. Takes it into the lane, gets it out to Nigaman. Then to Shipman, high, wide, and right. Spin moves, takes it toward the lane, puts up the shot. Doesn't get there, and down the floor come Regis. Olsen on the drive, takes it into the lane, puts it up, no good. Ainsley Olsen with the rebound. She gets it over to Goodell. Goodell takes it across the timeline, right down into the lane. She goes all the way to the hole. She puts it in and draws the foul. Case and Goodell taking it all the way to the hole.
Rambler foul number 23, Kara Olsen.
So that foul is going to be on Kara Olsen. It's her first team foul. Second team foul on Regis. Carly Borst into the lineup for the Ramblers. Zolson's going to take a break. Free throw on the way. It's good. 15-5, Vikings by 10. Down the floor come the Ramblers. Schroeder on the dribble. She's between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Chilson. Puts a shot up, no good. Rebound, fought for on the floor. Nigeman gets it out to Shipman, who hands it off to Hydorn. Back to Shipman on the right side. Takes it into the lane, tries the underhanded layup, and it got blocked. And quickly back down the floor comes Schrader. She feeds it off to Chilson, and they're going to get her with a travel. She got her hands on it as she went to her knees and then slid across the floor. And that's a travel. Into the line, Casey Bovey and Meadow Keltner for the Vikings. Or J.C. Bovey, I should say. I knew better than that. Bovey across the timeline on the dribble. Gets it over to Goodell on the right side. Feeds it out high to Nigeman. Into the lane and then back out to Goodell at the top of the key. Feeding it over to Olsen. Three-point land. Takes it to the free throw line. Back out to Keltner on the left side. She takes it over to the right side, feeds it over to Bovey. To Goodell, back out to Bovey. Bovey drives into the lane, puts it up, and it goes in. 17-5, Vikings on top, 12-13 to go. Regis has the ball on the right side. This is Chilson with it, being guarded by Olsen. Pass comes into Cullinan, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Down the floor comes Goodell at the top of the key. She feeds it off to Keltner on the left side. Back out high to Bovey. To Olsen, takes it into the lane. Back out to Bovey. Bovey to Nigeman. High, wide, and right. To Keltner, turnaround shot, no good. Down the floor comes Klink. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Borst. Down underneath to Chilson. She puts it up and in. Vikings with the ball, up by 10. Bovey with it. Gets it over to the left side to Goodell. Drives into the lane. Backs out. Then over to Bovey on the right side. Bovey over to Goodell on the left. Takes it down low. Back out to Olsen, high, wide, and left. And to Bovey. Then to Goodell. Goodell takes it down, lays it up. It doesn't go. And down the floor comes Chilson for the Ramblers. Chilson feeds it over to the left side. Shot goes up from there. Three-pointer is good. That was by Annabelle Schrader. 17-9, Vikings on top by 8. Keltner gets it out to Goodell, to Bovey. Bovey between the circles. Takes it over to the right side. Turns, gets it back out to Keltner from the top of the key. In and out, no good. And down the floor comes Borst. She's between the circles for the Ramblers. Feeds it over to the left side. Taking it into the lane, then gets it over to Borst. Jump shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Cullinan. She puts a shot up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Regis, and they get it out to Klink. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebounder taken away from Olsen and put up by Chilson, and then the follow-up by Borst, and she got fouled. Fouls on Ainsley Olsen. It's her first personal, third team foul.
First personal, third team foul. Carly Borst at the line, shooting 2.
Borst's first shot is up and good. Almost the same as a hockey line change here. 4 in and 4 out for the Vikings. So Shipman and Hajdukovic, Anderson, and Hydorn back into the lineup. Second shot on the way, it's also good. Viking lead cut to 6. 9:36 to go in the first half. Hydorn with it. Takes it over to the right side. Gets it to Shipman. Underneath to Hajdukovic. Lays it up. Overlaid it. Olsen with the rebound for Regis. She's got it between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side. That's to Schrader. Then to Borst on the right baseline. Back out high to Chilson. Chilson tries to feed it into the lane to Klink. Couldn't find the handle, but Regis comes away with the ball. Olsen with it between the circles. Takes it down the right side. Gets it out to Chilson. Three-pointer on the way over the back of the backboard. It's out of bounds.
Vikings ball.
It'll be Viking ball. Olsen into the lineup as Keltner takes a break. And Hydorn brings it down the floor for the Vikings. They get the ball over to Shipman from the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, hauled away by Anderson. Gets it to Hydorn. To Hajdukovic, to Hydorn, to Olsen at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Anderson brings it to the free throw line. Gets it out to Shipman. Feeds underneath to Hajdukovic. Turn around, it won't go. And down the floor come the Ramblers. Schroeder on the dribble. Across the timeline. Feeds it over to Olsen on the left side. She stops, is closely guarded there. Out to Chilson. Chilson feeds it into the lane to Borst. She lost the handle, but it was last touched by the Vikings. Cullinan back into the lineup for the Ramblers. Olsen inbounds it for the Ramblers. They get it over to Borst. She puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound. Taken down by Shipman. Top of the key. Turns at the free throw line. Feeds it out to Hydorn. Hydorn down the left side of the lane. Tries to feed it into the lane. Gets knocked out of bounds off of Cullinan. It'll be Viking ball. 7:31. Vikings up by 6. Ball comes in to Hajdukovic. She puts it up and in from the middle of the lane. Down the floor come the Ramblers. It's Cullinan with it. Feeds it into the lane. We got a whistle and a pushing foul being called on Ainsley Olsen. She didn't like that call. That was an eye roll almost as good as her sisters were a couple years ago.
Colfax foul number 14, Ainsley Olsen. That's her second personal, fourth team foul.
Inbound pass comes into Borst, and she misses, but the putback shot by Schrader is good. And down the floor come the Vikings. Hydorn with it, takes it over to the right side. Back out high to Nigaman. Feeds it into the lane. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. Cullinan committed the foul, but I think she took the worst of that collision. Pass comes in to Shipman, who lays it up and in. 21-13, Vikings on top by 8. Down the floor come the Ramblers. They feed it over to the right side to Borst. Down to the right corner, and then to the right baseline to Olsen. Gives it off. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. The shot was by Cullinan, and it was no good. Hydorn with it. Feeds it over to Anderson. Lays it up, and it goes in. 23-13. Vikings back up by 10. Chilson with it on the left side. Gets it to Cullinan between the circles. Back over to Borst, high, wide, and left. To the left wing, to Olsen, back out high to Borst. Three-pointer up, no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. To Hydorn. Hydorn for the Vikings gets it out to Shipman. Shipman drives into the lane, tries to get it over to Hajdukovic, and caught by everything on Hajdukovic except her hands. I think her nose even got a piece of it. So it went out of bounds. It'll be Regis ball. 5:53 to go in the first half. And down the floor come the Ramblers. They feed it off to the left side to Borst. Out to Klink between the circles. To Olsen on the right side. Down to the right side of the lane to Chilson. Puts up the shot, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Gets it to Shipman. Quickly across the line comes McKenna Shipman. Takes it to the baseline, lays it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Olsen for the Ramblers. Right through the center circle. Down the right side. Putting the shot up, it's good. Kara Olsen with the two-pointer. Vikings up by 8. Coming up on 5 minutes. Nigaman with it at the free throw line, gets it out to Anderson, takes it to the lane, gets it out high to Hydorn, over to Nigaman, and back to Hydorn. And out to Anderson. Anderson on the right side, gets it to Hydorn, drives into the lane, lays it up off the glass, no good. Rebound taken down by Borst. She gets it over to Olsen for the Ramblers, who comes across the timeline. Over to the left side. This is Schrader. Gets it out to the top of the key to Klink. Her shot gets blocked by Hajdukovic. Put back shot, though, by Schrader is good. Vikings up by 6. 4:15 to go in the first half. Hydorn with it in the center circle. Taking it over to the left side. Stops on the side of the lane, puts a shot up, it rattles around, comes out. And down the floor quickly come the Ramblers, laying it up, and in is Chilson, and the Viking lead has been cut to 4. 3:47 to go. Hydorn with it. Over to Shipman. Shipman drives the right baseline, pulls up, gets the jumper to go. 25-19. And we have a timeout on the floor. Ramblers want to talk about it. 3:31 to go. Vikings 25, Ramblers 19. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Back here at Regis High School. Vikings up by 6, 25-19, 3:31 to go in the first half. Regis with the ball. They inbound it to Annabelle Schrader, and she gets it back to Olsen, who brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Schrader, into the lane to Borst, puts up the shot, no good. Nigaman with the rebound, and down the floor comes Shipman. Gets it over to Hydorn, high, wide right. To Hajdukovic, who loses the handle on it, and Regis comes away with the ball. Klink with it. She's got it between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Borst, to Chilson. And they get it out to a three-pointer by Kara Olsen. So Viking lead is now cut to 3. They get the ball to Heidorn, who lays it up and in. So Vikings go up, back up by 5, 27-22 with 2.5 to go. They feed it over to Chilson, underneath. They get it back out to Olsen, puts up the 3, no. Rebound taken down by Goodell. She gets it to Heidorn, brings it across the timeline. Heidorn feeds it over to Shipman, to Hajdukovic in the lane. Back out to Shipman. Puts up the 3. She hit the 3! 30-22. Vikings up by 8. 1:55 to go in the first half. Regis with the ball. To Borst. And she tries to feed it underneath. We get a whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be on Nigaman. That's her first personal. 5th team foul on the Vikings. Olsen to inbound it to Chilson. Gets it out to Schrader. Then over to Olsen. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Down the floor comes Kenna Shipman. Feeds it off to Heidorn on the right side. Back out high wide right to Shipman, to Hajdukovic. Back to Heidorn. Out to Nigaman. Into Hajdukovic. Puts up the shot. It's no good. Olsen with the rebound for the Ramblers. She's got it at the top of the key. Takes it down the right side. We're going to get a pushing foul. And the foul's on Nigaman. That'll be her second personal. 6th team foul on the Vikings. Carlson for 2. First one's up and good. Anderson into the lineup for the Vikings as Nigaman takes a break. And Keltner coming in for Hajdukovic. Second shot by Olsen on the way. It's also good. Vikings by 6, 30-24. Coming up on a minute to go. Feeding into the lane, intended for Anderson. It gets intercepted by the Ramblers. This is Chilson, takes it straight down the floor, puts it up, no good. Rebound, hauled out of there by Keltner. Gets it to Shipman, then over to Heidorn, who brings it across the timeline. To Shipman, she can't handle it. Olsen has it for the Ramblers, stops at the top of the key, gets it over to Chilson, launches a 3, she hit it! Viking lead, cut to 3. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we're going to have Viking halftime, and the ball gets taken away. Down the floor come the Ramblers. 2-pointer goes up, no good. Rebound taken down and saved inbounds to Goodell. 7 seconds to go. Gets it over to Heidorn with 4 seconds. To Shipman, launches a long 3. She hit the 3 at the buzzer. McKenna Shipman with a long buzzer beater makes the score at halftime. Vikings 33 and the Regis Ramblers 27. We've got Viking halftime coming up with our Viking profile of Jada Anderson, and that'll be right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to talk to Jada Anderson, who's a junior here at Colfax High School. And Jada, we know that you play basketball, or we wouldn't be standing right here. But are there any other things that keep you occupied here at school?
Yeah, I play volleyball and softball too.
Okay, and how was that volleyball season?
It was good. It was really fun.
You had a good time?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started in 3rd or 4th grade, and it was really fun, but I took my freshman year off, but then I came back sophomore year, and it was really fun again. So.
Okay, and that's important. You're finding the fun again. All right. So what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Kind of like teamwork and like getting close to your teammates makes like a good team.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I play club volleyball and travel softball, so I'm kind of playing sports all year round.
There you go. Okay. So here's a few rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream cake.
Ice cream cake. Okay, combining 2 into 1. Way to go. Your favorite color and why?
Purple, and I just think it's a really pretty color.
Okay. If you could have a superpower, what do you think your superpower might be?
Probably to read minds.
Oh, that could be fun. What am I thinking right now? All right, if you have the superpower to be able to read minds, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's Jada Anderson's superhero name?
Jedi Jada.
Jedi Jada. And the Jedi read minds, didn't they? Yeah, okay. All right. Did you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
I like the Bucks and the Warriors.
Okay. And how about a favorite collegiate team?
I don't really know.
Okay, that's all right. Is there any basketball player that you know of, any age group, who's inspired the way you play your game?
I guess I just liked watching like everybody when I was in middle school, like the high school team. They really made it look like a lot of fun on the court. So.
Okay, all right. That's very legitimate. So we're talking with Jada Anderson today on Viking Profile. And Jada, what are your plans for after high school?
I'm hoping to play volleyball in college, and yeah.
Okay. And how about a shout out to the family?
I want to thank my mom and dad for letting me play sports and club teams with all the money that comes with it, and my sisters for showing up to my games.
All right, now, when people come to Viking games and they want to find Jada Anderson on the floor, what number are they going to look for, and where on the floor are they going to find you?
Number 32, new one this year, and I don't really know. Like, I usually play like the 3 spot, I guess. So.
Okay. All right, we want to thank Jada Anderson for joining us today on Viking Profile, and coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Regis High School in Eau Claire, just getting ready to start the second half of tonight's game, where the Vikings have opened up a 33-27 lead over the Regis Ramblers. Taking a look at the scoring in the first half. First of all, for the Vikings, Kaysen Goodell has a field goal and a free throw for 3 points. Molly Hydorn has a field goal and a three-pointer for 5. J.C. Bovey has a field goal for 2. Jada Anderson, a pair of field goals and a free throw for 5. Jeanette Hajdukovic, 3 field goals for 6. And McKenna Shipman has 3 field goals, 2 three-pointers for 12 points for a total of 33. For the Regis Ramblers, Emma Klink has a free throw. She went 1 for 2 from the line for a point. Mason Cullinan has a field goal, 2 free throws for 4 points. Carly Borst, 2 free throws for 2 points. Annabelle Schrader has 4 field goals for 8 points. Kara Olsen has a field goal, a three-pointer, and 2 free throws for 7 points. And Ashley Chilson has a field goal and a three-pointer for 5 for a total of 27. Again, leading the way for the Vikings is McKenna Shipman, who's put up 12 points. And they're doing a pretty fair job of keeping Ashley Chilson down. She's got 5 points, but that's well off her season average of 16 per game. So the Vikings doing, again, a pretty good job on defense. And Coach Serrar getting the last few instructions in. Vikings will have the ball to start the second half. Vikings will be moving from left to right. And let's see, the Ramblers are out on the floor. Vikings are out on the floor, starting 5 for both teams. Jada Anderson to inbound the ball for the Vikings. Rick Olson here, along with Lynn Nigaman on the camera. Dan Schuda keeping the numbers for us. He did a nice job in the first half. Hopefully he'll keep it up in the second half. As Hydorn has it between the circles. Feeds it off to the right side. Try to get it into Hajdukovic, but the ball gets knocked away by the Ramblers. And down the floor comes Schrader. Feeds it over to Chilson on the right side. Back out high to Schrader. Tried to get it over to Cullinan, but threw it behind her. So the Vikings will have it as Hydorn brings it down the floor. Olsen with it, high, wide right. Gets it over to Shipman at the top of the key, over to Hydorn on the left. Feeds it down to the left baseline to Hajdukovic. Takes it into the lane. Gets it back out. No, that gets taken away by the Ramblers, and down the floor comes Klink. Across the timeline. To Chilson. To Olsen. Back out to Chilson. To Cullinan. To Klink on the left. She feeds it out high to Schrader. To Cullinan. Cullinan gets the ball over to Schrader. Lost the handle, but she chased it down. Being guarded by Anderson. Feeds it over to the right. To Klink, back out high. It's Olsen with it. She gets it to Schrader, tied up, and ball gets knocked loose, and the Vikings have it. Shipman took it away and gets it to Hydorn, who takes it to the free throw line. Over onto the left side to Hajdukovic. To Shipman, drives into the lane, lays it up and in. 35-27, Vikings on top. Feed it over to the right side of the lane, going up with a shot is Klink, and they're gonna say that Shipman got her. It's the first foul on the Vikings. First foul on McKenna Shipman. Klink at the line for 2. First shot on the way and good. By the way, in the boys game over at Augusta, the Viking boys at halftime were leading the Augusta Beavers 40-23. That was at halftime. That's on our sister station, NLWN-2. Second shot is up, and it's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Down the floor comes Hydorn across the timeline. Feeding it into the lane to Olsen, back out to Hydorn. She's on the right side. Gets it to Olsen down in the corner. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Anderson to inbound. Feeds it to Olsen. Olsen tries to get it to Shipman, can't find the ball, and it's loose on the floor, picked up by Schrader. Down the floor she comes, drives to the lane, puts it up and in. 35-30, Vikings up by 5. Vikings have it over on the right side, and three-pointer up and good by Shipman. 38-30, Vikings on top. And we're going to get a double dribble called on Cullinan. Down the floor come the Vikings. Shipman has it, gets it out between the circles to Hydorn. Over to the right side to Shipman. Back out to Hydorn. Over to Anderson. Cross-court pass over to Shipman. Puts up a three. No, it won't go. Rebound taken down by Cullinan. She gets the ball over to Olsen and she brings it down the right side. Stops, puts it up and hits it. Kara Olsen on the shot. 38-32, Vikings by 6. 14-17 to go. They feed the ball out to Anderson, to Olsen, to Shipman on the right. Cross court to Anderson. She tries to go up with it. Ball was blocked, and they're going to get a foul called. She got more than just the ball, as that was Kara Olsen on the foul.
Number 23, Kara Olsen, that's her second personal.
Second personal. First team foul on the Ramblers.
Anderson at the line, shooting 2.
Anderson for 2. Here's the first. It's good. (39-32), Vikings on top. Second shot on the way. It's good. 40-32. Ball comes into Schrader. Back over to Chilson. Chilson brings it across the timeline. Stops at the top of the key. Guarded there by Olsen. Feeds it to Regis Olsen, and she got fouled as she was cutting through the lane. And the foul is going to be on Shipman. That's her second personal, second team foul. Ramblers to inbound. They get it in to Chilson. Her shot is no good. Ainsley Olsen with the rebound. Hydorn with it. Top of the key. Feeding it over to the left side to Anderson. Back out to Hydorn. Over to the right side to Shipman. Into the lane to Hajdukovic. Back out, and we're going to get a 3-second violation called against Hajdukovic.
Carly Borst into the Rambler lineup for Ashley Chilson. Jason Goodell and
So the ball comes into the Regis Ramblers. Kara Olsen on the dribble between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Borst. Back out high to Cullinan, to Olsen, to Borst on the right, to Schrader on the right wing. Back out high to Borst, top of the key. Over onto the left side to Olsen. Back to Schrader, to Klink. From inside the arc, shot goes up, no good. Nigaman with the rebound and gets it over to Shipman. To Hydorn, over to Nigaman, high wide right. Feed it underneath, and the shot goes up and knocked out of bounds. Shot was attempted by Olsen. Goodell to inbound for the Vikings. Ball comes in to Nigaman. Pass out on the side. Shot goes up, and it's a 3. That was by Hydorn. 43-32, Vikings up by 11. Chilson drives to the left side, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Ainsley Olsen. Down the floor comes Hydorn. Hydorn takes it down the right side. Back out Hyde Olsen. She launches a 3. She hit the 3! Ainsley Olsen took the lid off the rim with that three-pointer, and it's 46-32. And a timeout on the floor by the Ramblers. You're tuned to Viking basketball in the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
We're back here at Regis High School. Vikings have just opened a 46-32 lead over the Regis Ramblers. 12:15 to go in the game. And Regis inbounds the ball. Cara Olsen on the dribble. She brings it across the timeline. Between the circles. Over to Chilson. Three-pointer up, no good. Rebounder hauled down by Goodell. Goodell brings it down the floor. Stops at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Nigaman. High, wide, and right. Puts up a three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Down the floor comes Schrader on the right side. Gets it out to Klink. Puts up a three. No. Ball's loose on the floor. And we're going to get a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of Regis. That was Chilson and Ainsley Olsen tying up the ball. Inbound pass to Chilson. She turns around in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Hydorn. Hydorn quickly down the floor. Down on the right side, gets it out to Shipman, puts up the three. No, rebound being fought for underneath. Goodell comes out with a real hard-fought rebound. Out to Nigaman, to Hydorn. Gives it to Olsen, lays a little hard off the glass. And down the floor come the Ramblers. To Schrader, to Chilson. Out to Borst. Shot was no good, and then it went to Chilson. She put it up and got fouled on the way up. I think it's going to be on Goodell. Nope, it's on Olsen.
Vikings foul number 14, Ainsley Olsen. That's the third personal.
Third personal foul on Ainsley Olsen, and third team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up, no good. Ashley Chilson at the line. She's a 73% free throw shooter. Second shot on the way, and that one's good. 46-33, Vikings by 13. Down the floor comes Bovey with the ball. She's at the top of the key, feeds it off to Shipman on the right side. Into the lane is Goodell. Her shot got blocked, but she got it back right away. Over to Nigaman, back to Goodell, to Shipman. On the right side, now to the top of the key to Goodell. Stops at the free throw line. Looks left, looks right. Feeds it over to the left side to Nigaman. Takes it to the free throw line. To Shipman. Takes it out high, wide, and right. To Hajdukovic. She's smothered in the lane. Nigaman chases down the loose ball. Shipman with a three. No, it came up short, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Regis ball.
Rambler ball. Mason Cullen in the Rambler lineup for Emma Klink. Meadow Keltner into the Colfax lineup.
Meadow Keltner. I guess when I combine Meadow and Keltner, I come up with Kettle or something like that. Anyway, Meadow Keltner into the lineup for the Vikings. Chilson with it, gets it out to Cara Olsen. Over to Cullinan on the left side. To Chilson, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. And she brings it down the floor across the timeline on the right side. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic, and we're going to get a reaching foul called on Cullinan. That's Cullinan's second team foul on Regis. Keltner to inbound, looking for somewhere to go. Finally gets it in to Bovey. Bovey at the free throw line. Over to Keltner on the left side. On the left wing now to Hajdukovic, into Shipman, who turns around and jumps it up and in. 48-33, Vikings on top by 15. Regis feeds it over onto the right side. Schrader chases down the ball. Getting it over to Cullinan on the left. Back over to the right. Shot goes up. It's no good. That was a shot by Schrader, and the Vikings come away with it. Down the floor comes Shipman. She's on the right side. Gets it to Bovey, back out to Shipman on the right wing. Takes it to the lane. Along the baseline, they're going to call her for a travel.
Traveling violation against the Vikings, Ramblers ball. Emma Klink into the Rambler lineup for Kara Olsen.
So 48-33, just over 9 minutes remaining in the game. Down the floor come the Ramblers. They get it to Borst as she drives, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Nigaman, I believe. It is. That should be her third. First shot is up. It's good. This is Borst at the line. With just over 13 minutes to go down in Augusta, it's the Viking boys leading the Augusta Beavers 47-32. Second shot is on the way. It's also good. 48-35. Down the floor come the Vikings. Bovey with it. Takes it over to the right side. Over to Hajdukovic on the left. To Shipman. She launches a three. She hit the three. McKenna Shipman from three-point land. 8.5 to go. 51-35. Vikings on top. Ramblers feed it over to Klink on the left side. Now over to the right side to Schrader. She drives in, puts it up, partially blocked, and Nigaman comes away with it. Gets it to Bovey. Bovey across the timeline. She's between the circles, takes it over to the right side. Feeds it to Hajdukovic. Turnaround hook shot, no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Chilson with it, takes it down the left side, and they're going to call the foul on Bovey. She literally got run over, but she wasn't set. So that's the first personal on Bovey. 15 foul on the Vikings. Ball comes into Chilson. And they get it out on the wing. That was a shot up by, we don't have her name. We'll have to look that one up. And the Vikings to bring it down the floor. Vikings feed it down into the lane to Hajdukovic, puts a shot up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Borst with it, feeds it over to Klink on the right side. Down to Chilson at the baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Olsen for the Vikings. She gets it to Heidorn, who comes to the top of the key. Now over to the left side. Feeds it to Keltner down in the left corner. Keltner feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic, out to Olsen, launches a three. No, it won't go. Off the front and off the back and not through. Down the floor quickly come the Ramblers. Schroeder with it. Her pass got tipped away and the Vikings have it. Anderson brings it down, feeds it to Hajdukovic. Stops, puts the shot up. No. Rebound tied up. And they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings.
Kevin Shipman into the Colfax lineup for Olsen and Mason Cullen into the lineup for the Ramblers.
So Anderson didn't bound for the Vikings. Ball comes in to Shipman, and she tries to go up with it. It's no good. Rebound got tied up, jump ball, and it's going to be Regis ball. And we have a sub coming in. Goodell into the lineup, replacing Keltner. And Kara Olsen on the dribble for the Ramblers. Comes across the timeline, top of the key, over to the right side. Tries to feed it down into the lane. Ball gets tipped away, and it's a timeout call by the Ramblers. 6:15 to go, Vikings 51, Ramblers 35, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
We're back here at Regis High School. Vikings hold a 51-35 lead over the Regis Ramblers. 6:15 to go. Regis had just called the timeout. They wanted to talk things over. And the Ramblers will have the ball out of bounds on the baseline. Chilson to inbound. Gets it out to Borst. To Carl Olsen from 3. No. Rebound right into the hands of Cullinan. And then the shot by Klink is no good. And coming away with the ball, we're going to get a travel call on the Ramblers. Vikings lost control. Ramblers had it, but before she could put the ball on the floor, she took a couple steps. So the Vikings have it. Going to settle things down now as Heidorn brings it across the timeline. At the top of the key, feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Out high to Shipman, launches the 3. She hit the 3! I believe that's 25 for Shipman, and Dan's over there nodding his head yes. 3-pointer on the way for Regis. That was by Carl Olsen. It was no good. Putback is no good, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Vikings.
Annabelle Schroeder to the Rambler lineup for Carly Bowles.
So the Ramblers to inbound it. Carl Olsen to inbound. Ball comes into Chilson. Her shot is up and good. Pretty good shot by Chilson that time because it went through about 3 different Viking hands at the same time. But she made it go in. Heidorn with it to Goodell. Goodell feeds it out to Anderson. Little shake and bake move, puts it up. They're going to say the foul is on the floor. And they got a block on the floor on Klink. That's Klink's first personal. 3rd team foul on the Ramblers. Shipman to inbound. Get it into Olsen to Heidorn. Now back out to Olsen. Over to the left side to Anderson to Heidorn. To the right side to Olsen. She's on the right wing. Drives into the lane. Gets it out to Anderson on the left side. Then into the left corner to Heidorn. Heidorn circles around into the lane. Back out to Goodell. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebound. Olsen, they're going to say she stepped out of bounds. Check that. That was Shipman. Stepped out of bounds before she could throw it off the Regis player. So down the floor come the Ramblers. It's Olsen with it. It's Carl Olsen to Schrader, drives through the lane, over to Klink, puts up a shot, it's good. About 2 feet inside the arc. 54-39, Vikings up. Hydorn with it at the free throw line, into the lane, lays it up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers with 4:12 to go. Schrader with it between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side. To Cullinan, to Klink. Over to the right side, to Schrader, back out, high, three-pointers up, and it goes in by Chilson. Vikings lead cut to 12, 54-42. Down the floor come the Vikings, and they want to talk about it. So we have a timeout on the floor. Vikings 54, Ramblers 42, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
And we're back here at Regis High School, and a score with about 8.5 minutes to go from over in Augusta. It's the Viking boys with a 61-43 point lead over the Augusta Beavers. Nice performance by the boys after not having a game for 9 days because of that snowstorm last week. Evidently, they were able to get rid of whatever rust they had accumulated. Viking girls up by a dozen. 3:47 to go. Vikings have the ball. Hydorn with it between the circles. Feeds it to the free throw line to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic, a little bit of trouble. Turns, gets it out. Then feeds it to Shipman. Back to Hajdukovic. Out to Hydorn. Three-pointer. It's off the iron. Rebound taken down by Olsen, and the ball got knocked away by Klink. They're going to get her with a foul. That's her second and fourth team foul on the Ramblers. Force checks in for Regis. Cullinan takes a seat. Anderson to inbound it to Hydorn. Regis comes up with a loose ball on the floor. Chilson with it in the backcourt. Takes it across the timeline on the right side. Stops, takes it into the lane. Feeds it out to the left side to Schroeder. Schroeder's shot is up, no good. Rebound, fought for. And they're going to say a foul called on Shipman. Third foul on Shipman. Sixth foul on the Vikings. Ball comes in and tipped around and finally chased down by Borst. She feeds it over to the right side to Chilson. Then Olsen, Kara Olsen with a three-pointer who cuts the Viking lead to 9. Under 3 minutes to go. Hydorn with it. Feeds it over to Shipman. Shipman back out to Anderson. Anderson between the circles. Ball got knocked loose. And the ball got knocked out of bounds by Klink. And it'll be Viking ball still. A lot of pressure being put on now by the Regis Ramblers. Anderson to inbound. Ball comes into Hydorn. Hydorn quickly across the timeline between the circles. Out to Olsen. To Anderson. Anderson between the circles. Over to the right side to Hydorn. Hydorn takes it to the top of the key. Out to Olsen, high, wide, and left. To Shipman. She's handed it off to her. Shipman feeds it over to Anderson. High, wide, right. Between the circles. Over to Hajdukovic on the left side. To Shipman on the left. Shipman pulls up her dribble, gets it out to Hydorn between the circles, and we're going to get a whistle. And the foul's on Klink. It's her third personal. Fifth foul on the Ramblers. Ramblers still have another foul to give. Anderson to inbound. Ball got tipped and taken by Klink. She tries to lay it up and it wouldn't go in. Shipman with it. Gets it to Hydorn. Down across the timeline. Feeding it down into the corner to Olsen. Back out high to Shipman. Vikings going to run some clock here. Minute 33 to go. Shipman with it. High, wide, and left. Or high, wide, and right. I get that wrong once a game. Left and right. Olsen has it. Gets it out to Hydorn. She's on the left side. Now between the circles. Over to Olsen on the right. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Chilson. That's going to be foul number 7. Or check it, it's not foul number 6. It's Chilson's second foul. Vikings will go to the bonus after this inbound. Ball gets into Olsen down in the right corner. She dribbles it toward the lane. Gets it out to Hydorn, top of the key. Over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Out high to Olsen. Between the circles. We're going to get a whistle and a foul on Chilson. It's going to put Ainsley Olsen to the line for the 1-and-1. This game's going to be decided at the free throw line. 1 minute even to go.
Ainsley Olsen at the line for the Vikings shooting the bonus.
Olsen's first shot is up. It's good. I think that's her first point of the night. Oh, I take it back. She's got 4 points. Second one is up, no good. That's right, she hit that 3 in the first half. So she's got 4. Long shot, no good by Chilson, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Vikings ball. That one was a little bit out of her range that time. 55-45, 48.4 seconds remaining. Vikings inbound the ball. And Olsen on the dribble. She got fouled right away. She's going to go to the line for another 1-on-1. Chilson picks up her 4th personal foul.
Ainsley Olsen at the line for the Vikings shooting the bonus.
Olsen to shoot 2. First one's on the way. No, off the back of the iron. Hajdukovic gets the rebound, though. Gets it back out to Olsen. Olsen over to Hydorn on the left side. Gets it to Shipman between the circles. Dribbles over to the right. Man down, and she got fouled. She was trying to feed it. No, we have a timeout called. So a timeout on the floor. 55-45, Vikings on top, 28.6 seconds remaining. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 3rd when the Vikings travel to Turtle Lake to take on the Turtle Lake Lakers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, January 3rd.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him. So I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN-TV while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
And the Vikings inbound the ball and immediately got fouled.
Foul number 1, Emma Klink.
Emma Klink picks up her 4th.
Her 4th personal, 19th foul.
And it's the 9th team foul. It's going to put Shipman to the line for the 1-on-1. First shot is up and it won't go. Rebound taken down by Olsen. She's fighting for it under there. We're going to get a whistle and a foul underneath. Olsen wasn't going to give that up. So Olsen's going to go to the line for the double bonus. And that's the 5th foul on Chilson. So she's done for the night. See if I can see how many points she ended up with for the night. Looks like 13. 13 points for Chilson on the night. Olsen at the line. First shot goes up. It's good. And the second shot is on the way. It's good. 57-45. Just under 20 seconds to go. Ramblers bring the ball down. Kara Olsen gets it over to the right side to Klink. And Olsen steals the ball away for the Vikings. 8 seconds left. Heidorn with it. She's still on the dribble in the backcourt. Ball gets knocked loose. She picks it up. And ball goes out of bounds 0.3 of a second. This one is securely in the victory column for the Vikings. And there's the buzzer. So the final score, Vikings 57, Ramblers 45. Vikings record on the season goes to 8-1. And we'll have more for you all about this in Viking postgame right after this timeout. You've been tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back here at Regis High School, where the Vikings came out victorious over the Regis Ramblers by a score of 57-45. Again, as we said, that makes the Vikings 8-1 on the season. And they've got one more game before the holiday break, as they're going to be taking on the Ladysmith Lumberjills on Thursday. So they're off to a good start with that one. Rick Olson here, along with Lynn Nigaman, who's been running the camera for us tonight. Dan Schuda on the numbers, and he did an outstanding job keeping those. In fact, while we're waiting for Coach Serrar to come up and visit with us, we'll take a look at those numbers. First of all, for the Regis Ramblers, they were led in scoring by Ashley Chilson, who fouled out with 13 points on the night. She had she had 3 field goals, a couple of 3-pointers, and went 1 for 2 from the charity stripe for those 13 points. Cara Olsen had a dozen. She had 2 field goals, 2 3-pointers, and 2 free throws, and that's a total of 12 points. Annabelle Schrader had 8 points, all in the first half. She had 4 field goals. And well, I'm going to take a pause right there as we talk about this, because we have Viking head coach Courtney Serrar coming to join us right now. And congratulations. That game was tougher than the score indicated.
Yeah, I thought, we came ready to play for sure. You could tell from the tip. I think we jumped out to a 12-4 lead, but Regis is a good team, and they play hard, and I was impressed with how they battled back and made some things happen, and credit to their kids for continuing to work. But I thought we did a great job responding when they went on a little run of their own, and kind of knocked down some huge shots, and Molly made a huge three. I thought Ainsley did an excellent job on their leading scorer, that Chilson girl, and you could tell she was frustrated, and she was super tired. So I got on them about rebounding in the second half, and we had some kids come up with some huge rebounds. So I was impressed.
The girls fought really hard, and tonight's game was a very physical game, and that was noticeable from the get-go. The officials let them play, and that's fine as long as they let them play, if they're going to let them play, and they did. And the girls held their own and didn't take anything from anybody.
No, and I told them that too. Some games are like that. You just have to battle through some of that contact and be strong with the ball, and I thought we did a good job.
Well, congratulations. You got one more before the holidays with the Ladysmith Lumberjills, and it'll be back at home. What do you know about the Lumberjills? What are we expecting in that one?
Yeah, they have three really, really good kids, so we'll have our hands full there with that. They have a really good point guard, and then the coach has two twins who are super athletic. So, it's a big game for us because Ladysmith is in our half of the sectional, so we'll have to come ready to play.
And if past games have anything to say about it, just look at the game last year where Ladysmith opened up a big lead and the girls battled their way back to come away with the win. But boy, was that an edge of your seater throughout, and fans could expect something similar to that maybe on Thursday night over in Colfax.
Well, let's hope not, but maybe.
Well, if it does, at least maybe it'll come out the same way.
Right? Yeah. So.
All right, well, congratulations. Thanks for joining us today, Coach. And once again, Vikings come out on top 57-45, and you're tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Well, we're back here at Regis High School in Viking postgame, and this update for you now, it has just gone final over in Augusta. It was the Viking boys 83 and the Augusta Beavers 49, so congratulations to the Viking boys on that one. Continuing with the scoring of this game where the Vikings came out on top 57-45, finishing up with the Regis girls, we had three girls scoring 4 points each. That was Emma Klink, Mason Cullinan, and Carly Borst. So that came out to a total of 45 points for the Regis Ramblers. For the Vikings, they were led by McKenna Shipman, who put up 25 points tonight. 5 field goals, 5 3-pointers for a total of 25 points. Then came Molly Hydorn, had a couple 3-pointers and a field goal for 8 points. Jada Anderson had a couple of field goals, 3 free throws for 7 points. Ainsley Olson had a 3-pointer and went 3 for 4 from the free throw line for 6 points. In addition, Jeanette Hajdukovic had 3 field goals for 6 points. Kaysen Goodell had a field goal and a free throw for 3 points. And J.C. Bovey had a field goal for 2 points for a total of 57. So Vikings come out on top, 57-45 over the Regis Ramblers. Don't forget to join NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network this Thursday night, as the Viking girls will take on the Ladysmith Lumberjills in non-conference action. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 6:50, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball this Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also, don't forget to join us on NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Tuesday, January 3rd, as the Viking boys will journey to Turtle Lake to take on the Turtle Lake Lakers. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 6:50 p.m., and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Viking boys basketball on Tuesday, January 3rd on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. On Christmas Eve, as you settle in for that long winter's nap, be sure to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN-TV for our Christmas gift to you, 2022. We will bring you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. So be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. For Lynn Nigaman and Dan Schuda, this is Rick Olson. The final score once again, Vikings 57 and the Regis Ramblers 45. You've been tuned to Viking Basketball, our Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.